So I want to start this video off by sending my apologies to Western North Carolina. I was unaware. I had no clue of what was going on there. No clue, which is mind-blowing to me because up and down my timeline is the LA wildfires, as it should be, but Western North Carolina should be there too. I could have been covering them both and making the awareness known for both. Like, that is just, how does that get submerged? How does the information and the videos and different things not gain traction to be shown on everybody's timeline? I don't understand that. Either way, my apologies, but we here now. We here now, and that's what we getting into. So, y'all know how this goes. Question everything. You should. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
One thing they won't tell you about in the news about Western North Carolina is how there's people trapped on a mountain that are in the same clothes, the same shoes that they were in 7 days ago. There are people who have brought their private helicopters, horses, mules from literally states and states over to come and save these people. There are mothers giving birth in the hospital parking lots because the hospital has no water for them. This is the type of situation that you're not seeing on the news in Western North Carolina. There is so more. It honestly.
Why is this not on the news? Why? I don't understand that. How is this going on and nobody knows about it? And it's not being covered. That makes no sense to me. This is what I'm saying.
It's heartbreaking for my community because there's people who have literally watched their house literally float away. They ran out of body bags. They're wanting donations of body bags. One thing about the people up here is that we help each other. We don't leave anybody behind. That's how it always has been ever since. I've lived here my entire life. That is how everyone is around here. I'm so mad for my community because at the same time, the government isn't doing a single thing. And for anybody to say, well, what do you expect them to do? We expect them to allow people up here to help us. 40 airplanes, helicopters in the sky are privately owned by individuals who are using their own money to pay for the fuel and save these people. 2 are from the government. They're sitting on the ground at the Asheville airport, doing nothing because they are told to stay there. They're still trying to figure out how to build a road to Bat Cave and Girton, North Carolina. There's people hiking to save their friends, save their family. There's post after post after post of people missing their loved ones. If you're able to donate, please visit the link in my bio. It goes straight to the people here in my town, the surrounding towns, and it gets the supplies and resources to people who need it the most. And please, please, please continue to pray.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can see what her link is. Will it allow me to click on her bio? I won't. I'm not sure. I have to find another link though.
Hey guys, I'm Brian Enton. I'm in Western North Carolina. It's hard to believe it's been almost 3 months since Hurricane Helene hit this area. We're in Swannanoa, and it's still, it's still such a mess out here. There's been recovery in some areas, but in other places you go, it still looks like the hurricane just came through here. And what's so heartbreaking, these rivers, they rose up. So this whole area was underwater, but all of these homes were destroyed along the riverbanks, and you've now got people living in small campers and sheds with nowhere else to go. They say they've tried FEMA, but they haven't got the assistance that they've needed, so they're living in these campers, and it's cold this time of year.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, what little,
it's rough.
I explained it to a friend, like what little we did have, it is gone, so you have to restart. The baby sleeps here. It's like, we clean it out every night. I know it seems like a lot, but we put all our toys in there during the day and then clean it out for her to sleep in at night. Then Ariel sleeps here, Gloria up top, Landon on the bottom. There's just, a little tiny bathroom back there.
So this was a shed?
Yeah, it's just a regular shed, but they turned it into where we can just be a hangout spot, basically. That way we ain't got all crammed inside the camper at one time, So...
Does it make a big difference having the shed also?
Oh, yeah. It definitely, it's a big difference.
Driving around, it's interesting. There are little signs of hope. You realize that it's the holiday season. People have actually decorated some of the debris. There's this box truck on its side that people put candy canes and Christmas lights on. We're trying to be festive for the kids, but it's still just such a desperate situation out here, and people need so much help. Go to newsnationnow.com. We've got a list of charities that I've actually met and interacted with here, local charities that are doing incredible work this holiday season.
Now, here's the thing too, right? For those of us who plan on donating and stuff like that, right? Be careful. Make sure. Find out. Do as much research, because we've been here before of trying to donate and the money doesn't get to the people. We need to find out if the money's actually getting to the people for these donations and different things like that, man. Boy, this is I'm still trying to wrap my head around how is this not viral and being talked about every single day. How is this not talked about? How? And I couldn't find that many. It's crazy. I couldn't find many videos. I found enough, but it's insane.
Hey y'all, Tracy Adams here, coming from you from Western North Carolina. I'm a local of Western North Carolina, and I've been on the ground here obviously since day one because I live here. My county was not one of the worst destroyed. I live in Burke County, but the ones west of us were and are in horrible condition, and we really, really need y'all's help. I've been very happy to see Bethany Frankel, some other big creators that have came out and are talking about North Carolina and saying, oh, we need attention, and we do. And I want to get something clear. I love the people in this country, and I feel for anybody who goes through a trauma like the fire burning, hurricane, tornado, flooding. It's just awful, and I hate it for California, and there's a lot of regular people there. We need to remember that. It's not all celebrities there and people that are rich. There's a lot of just regular people, but the problem is that California has gotten more news coverage in a week. It's been a week and some days. I'm sorry, I can't even keep track of what day it is here, but more than we've got in 3.5 months, which is very sad. I'm really big on equality, and I don't see how one state in this country is getting treated different than another. We all pay tax dollars. We all should be treated the same. The response for one state should be the same response for the other. I just cannot believe what I'm hearing about all the help that they're going to get. And y'all, let me tell you, probably whatever you've heard what's going on here is going on, okay? The government and FEMA have absolutely done, in my opinion, not a great job. Okay? Not a great job. People are struggling. There was already major problems in the Appalachians. A lot of these areas we're working in already had high poverty rates. There already was a housing crisis. There's already food insecurity. And now you done took 126 homes that are damaged or destroyed and taken a lot of jobs away. I'm a small business owner, and I've barely had any income since the storm because our economy just stopped for the most part, and I'm still building back from COVID. The pandemic. But anyways, I'm not going to get into all that, but we need your help. Please keep supporting. Social media is the only way anybody knows anything about this. Besides, there's been some reports, but there's not near the coverage that should be here because, the news, they got to move on to the newest story, and people get left behind. Maui still...
And see, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, a lot of people I see are saying, if it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't have known about this. I would not have known about this. So when you hear me saying the importance, I ain't talking about all the BS that goes on, the drama and all that type of stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yes, that stuff is entertaining sometimes, and we do indulge. But stuff like this makes this app worth it. It makes it important. Like, stuff like this.
Still left behind. Anybody else that's had disaster, my mind's blanking right now, but people should not be forgotten, and people should not be living in tents freezing to death, okay? Please keep sending help. I've got my own nonprofit. I can share a lot of wonderful nonprofits with y'all, but we just need y'all to get the message out there. So please like, share, comment, just leave an emoji. Everything helps. All right, God bless. Bye.
There's a potential that I will receive a lot of hate and misunderstanding in this video, but it's the risk I'm willing to take. In the social media world, you cannot control what other people hear, and they pick and choose what you say, twist it, and then hate on you or accuse your character. I'm taking a risk. I ask that you give me 5 minutes of your time. If you need to save this for later, go ahead and save it. For the facts I'm about to share, I need to establish who I am. My name is Mary Reyna. I've been boots on the ground in Western North Carolina since day 5. I started going throughout all the counties serving families, and then I was hired as the operations manager for the nonprofit Patriot Relief. I am out in the field through multiple counties in WNC for anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day. This is an example. This was my daily travel on Sunday. I was in Mitchell County, Bumpkin County, Marshall County, Yancey, Polk, multiple counties in one day. That was my route that I took. This ain't going to be pretty. Those are my boots that I wear every single day. And you know why I have to wear these thick boots still? That stuff you see at the end of my shoe ain't mud. We've got counties that have major plumbing issues. We are still doing recovery in certain counties, specifically Polk. Do you see this debris pile? Under there, things are still being found. Scents are still being found. The debris has all washed to certain areas and pile up significant piles. We are still doing recovery out in certain counties. So with that being established, please trust what I'm saying as facts. I would never want to fabricate anything. In fact, I slam down any rumor and I say that is not true. With all of that being said, I've got some things to say about what is happening and our government's response of what is happening out in California versus their lack of response of the devastation in North Carolina. Now, I am from California. I moved to North Carolina from San Diego. I owned a home in Oceanside. My brother and his wife and niece and nephew are still out there outside of Los Angeles. They lost power. They had to deal with high winds and smoke and the schools being closed. Thankfully, all my family members and friends that I have been in touch with are all safe. With that being said, please know that what I'm about to share does not diminish the devastation of the fires in California. It is absolutely horrific, and we are diligently praying for the families, for the first responders, for the firemen to be able to contain these fires. But I cannot stay silent when I have seen firsthand the lack of response from our government out here in North Carolina and what they are doing right now in the devastation of California. I saw this morning. Biden says feds to cover 100% of costs for the initial LA fire recovery. FEMA assistance available. Let's talk about the government assistance in North Carolina. I have held so much facts back on my personal page out of protection of the families and stories. That ain't happening today. The news is reporting a little over 300 total loss of life count here in North Carolina. That's a bunch of bull BS. The first week alone, in Batcave alone, the area of Batcave, the mountain collapsed. There were 1,000 loss of life. I was not present in that moment. I have spent time with hundreds of families. I have seen videos and photos and firsthand account when I've been serving the families. 1,000 in Batcave alone. Out of the hundreds of families that I have served, with the exception of 5 families, every single family was denied the $750 loan out program from our government. The majority of families that I have spoken with that paid into flood insurance year after year after year were denied an insurance claim because supposedly it was an act of God.
This insurance situation, like at this point, what are we paying it for if we're not going to be able to get a claim done or push through, and we got to fight for a claim when something happens? I don't understand it at this point. Why are we being forced to have it if we're not even going to get nothing? It's just like us paying our tax. It's this. Oh my gosh, bro. Are you serious? How can somebody have you? What more do you need to see? An act of, what do you think it was? Oh, bro, I can't, man. It just don't seem like reality that we people are having to suffer through this.
We're now at 100 days. I've lost count, but I think we're at 100 days after the flood happened. And you know why I say flood instead of storm? Hear me out. I told you I wasn't going to hold back, and so I'm not holding back. Every single family in Swannanoa has told me the same story account. It had been raining up until September 27th, but the day of September 27th, with the destruction hit, it was not raining. Guess what came in? Every single family has told me this same account of flood. You know what that flood was? The dam that they released all in one moment, not inch by inch, all in one moment. Our families stood in their home and had no time to evacuate. This was not a typical hurricane. I grew up in Florida. I faced tornadoes and hurricanes. This was not a typical hurricane. They had literally, within 20 minutes, they couldn't get out of their home. They had to climb to higher ground and pray for something to happen while they watched their neighbors' homes float down this flood of water. And they stood in their homes hearing the cries of their neighbor screaming out for help at the top of their roofs. If they could make it to safety, they saw their neighbors float down that river. They saw their animals float down the river. If you come out to visit Western North Carolina, it's going to look devastating. You know why? There's been so much that's happened within 100 days, but the level of devastation was so huge, it's going to take years to rebuild. And what was our government's response? We'll give you $750 if you apply and if you qualify. If you qualify? What would not make you qualify? But I've had hundreds of families denied the $750, which would have bought maybe a week, 2 weeks of gas and groceries. And yet California gets this 100% backing. And President Biden told North Carolina within month one that the government's done all that they can for the state of North Carolina. I call bull. The reason why I'm speaking up today is because when I saw this happening, and let me tell you something, my friends and family are affected by these horrible fires. I'm invested in this on a personal level. But today, when I saw our government's response, I could not keep silent. I have been so conservative on my page with giving out facts of what's really going on with the lack of support from our government out here. I've got one more story to tell you. Polk County, specifically Tryon area, is not getting any attention. Asheville and Swannanoa have gotten a lot of media attention, and I've seen so many people drive by the Swannanoa River in the neighborhood of my families that we've been serving, pulling out their video camera and taking videos of devastation, not coming to help, not coming to serve, but Polk County has not received the media attention that they deserve. Last night, I got a call about a veteran who was still in a tent. Thankfully, the amount of people in tents has significantly dwindled. I've made videos about that. Praise God. Praise God we've got shelters and people out of the tents. But in this particular area, I got a call of a veteran man in a tent. The road is still broken out there. I couldn't get to him. So I got with my contacts. We were trying to reach people. I got a hold of an ATV, but at that point, it was too dangerous late at night for us to go out. I'm still trying to find ways to get to that man, to get him anything he needs to get him out of the tent, but at least warming supplies. And guess how all of this is happening? Through the American people. The government should be sending ATVs and they should be still present. But even then, when they were present, they were in their nice little warm tents, providing food, providing restrooms, providing first aid. Appreciate it. But where are they now? That is the maximum our government has done. And guess what? January 10th, tomorrow, the FEMA hotel vouchers ran out. I think they extended it by 24 hours. God bless their hearts. The government gave us an extra 24 hours before the people have to figure out what the hell they're going to do now for shelter. That's what we're dealing with out here in North Carolina. I love you, California. You were my home for 16 years. I love you. I hate what's happening. But the American people needs to know. Everyone out here, every family that I've spoken with is convinced there was an ulterior motive of why the government did not respond to the devastation out here. And yet you vowed to have California's back. I've got 10 seconds and I'm going to use it. California, you remember, even though the government is promising to come through, you stick together. It is the...
All right, they're playing music now, so I can't continue on because that will stop this video. And the one thing I don't want is this video to stop because of the copyright for the music. So I'm going to stop it right there. Her name, Mary Reyna Smiles. Her name, MaryReynasmiles, or that's the name on this actual TikTok. So I don't know if that's her name. I think it is. I can't remember from the beginning if she said her name, but that's the name I'm showing on this TikTok. I'm going to give you the exact way it's on here. It's Mary, Mary_Reyna, REYNA_Smiles, SMILES. Let's spread the word. Let's spread the word. Let's spread the word. There's nothing else for me to... Let's spread the word.
Thought I'd do another video on Western North Carolina. It's still here. We're still struggling in certain areas, this, that, and the third. Some people are like, oh, you're not struggling. What area are you talking about? Because Burnsville, Spruce Pines and all that, they're struggling. Hendersonville, some parts of Hendersonville are still struggling. But I just thought I should give another update, and I got to keep doing this because LA got a lot of publicity, but North Carolina, crickets. And I mean this in the most respectful, disrespectful way. What the It's not fair. I get it. Life isn't fair. I just think it's crazy because they're talking about the numbers. The numbers don't even amount to the people that were in the mountains, the people that live in tents. I'm not talking about homeless people. I'm talking about people that want to be left the alone. That's what I'm talking about. There were a lot of communities out in the middle of nowhere, in the woods, just communities minding their own business, and they were killed. A lot of them were killed. We can't find their bodies, but no one wants to talk about that, right? They only want to talk about the numbers. The numbers. Like we give a hoot and a holler about the goddamn numbers. It shows at the end of the day that the government only thinks that people are numbers. It's just a number. You're just a number. Here in Western North Carolina, we are not just a number. We are family members. We are friends. We consider anybody, literally anyone you meet. If you're from around here, you're nice to anyone and everyone. You treat everyone the same as you treat your own family. So if someone's missing, everyone's going to help you look for them. But the people that are like, oh, what are you doing? Our guest house is full of people. Don't do it. And full of people, and they don't pay rent. We're giving them everything we can. So I'm doing my part, and I've already contributed, and I'm doing as much as I can. And the only thing I can do now is post about it, because guess what? I have 23,000 of y'all on here. I love y'all dearly, but I need y'all to help repost. Speak on this, please.
Hold on, let me scroll to the top. Let me get her name. Breonna Bryant. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong, so I'm going to spell it. Breonna Bryant. Bryant, but it's all together on TikTok. It's all together. You know what I mean? Now, if TikTok is gone, I'm not sure how to find people. We may have to look them up on maybe a Facebook or Instagram account. You know what I mean? But yeah. Here, that's her information.
Hi, I am Lauren, and I am a Black Mountain resident, and I was there when Hurricane Helene came in and destroyed a lot of the area. I posted several videos recently, and I keep getting comments like, why didn't y'all evacuate? Why didn't you know this was coming? I want to explain a lot of our area. So you see Asheville, and we are east of it. That is Black Mountain, where I live. If you look to the left on this map, that is Swannanoa, a town that's basically gotten knocked off the map at this point. On the other side of me, going east, is Old Fort, which is all down the mountain, and that got a lot of the waters, and it did flood. There's a lot of misconceptions. We are 300 miles in, and we had a system sit over us. If you look at the date on this, this is September 23rd at 6:11 p.m. It poured and poured and poured on us for days before the storm ever hit. And this is from a completely separate system. This is when we were getting rain, but we could still see the storm coming in and what was expected to be rain on top of what we already had. There had not been a flood in the mountains like this since I think 1914. If you look, see again, this is September 25th. This was 2 days before the hurricane actually hit the area. We were already seeing record rainfalls that we had never seen before. This is from the Asheville airport. And again, this is September 26th, saying that it is the wettest September ever on record since they started keeping record of the rain. This again, September 25th, 2 days before Hurricane Helene hit our area. This is Tunnel Road, one of the main roads in downtown Asheville. Again, still, we're only on September 25th. This is in the evening, a picture of Biltmore Village flooding, again, before we got Hurricane Helene. And you may be asking, why did we not evacuate then when we already were having power outages 1 day before the storm even hit? By then, we couldn't get out. There were already landslides on the interstates. We were stuck. Even people who had the means to get out were stuck. This is the day before the storm hit, and this is a video from one of my best friends. Her name is Tiff, and this is the French Broad River before Hurricane Helene hit. It was already close to breaching. Now, this is from our local meteorologist talking about the rivers and how they were cresting all across the region. This is them predicting that this could bring more rain. Again, we are right east of Asheville, around where the E is, and in our area was going to be the worst. We knew it was going to be bad, but no one had any idea how bad it was going to be. And again, they are predicting it's going to hit us the hardest. But what happened, the infrastructure of our dam system broke. So all of our dams in the area breached, or you had landslides that started from the top of the mountain with the saturated soil. The trees just fell over with a wind, and it would start at the top of the mountain and slide down. This is where you can see that the force of this was from tidal waves that came from the dams breaking. We had inland tsunamis. That is what people don't get, is it wasn't just hurricane damage and tornadoes and winds. The ground was removed. So much so that when it ripped through cemeteries, coffins were floating down the rivers. I'm not making this up. There are actual videos and pictures. These are my own pictures that I'm showing here. This is part of where one of the dams broke, by the North Fork Reservoir. That's why when the Swananoa River...
Again, how is this not up and down our timelines? That makes no sense to me. Are you seeing this? Like, how is... I don't understand, man. We cannot be... The people who break their backs for this country, pay taxes, do everything, keep this country moving. And when they need this country, why is there never no help? Why is that?
And Lake Lure flooded. It was so devastating, is that it was true tidal waves. And I have been there and I have stood in these cities. It looks apocalyptic. There were helicopters flying over me constantly. This is just one of the highways showing that the land just gave way because it was so overly saturated. Please continue to keep Western North Carolina in your thoughts, in your prayers, and continue to help because it cannot go forgotten. This is in Swananoa, where someone's car was not only crushed, it was taken by the river, and they're doing so much cleanup, but over a week later, it is still so bad. Please do not stop sharing this kind of content and don't let it go forgotten. This is also Swannanoa. Tell me that does not look like tsunami damage. Hi, I am Lauren and I am a Black Mountain resident.
First of all, I hate the fact that she had to explain herself. But I love the fact that she explained it because now people are aware and we can continue to shed light on it, share it, make it known and everything like that. So I hate that she had to do it, but at the same time, I'm thankful she did it because otherwise some of us would have never known. So we appreciate her. Her name is Lauren's Legends, LAURENS.Legends, LEGENDS. Again, LAURENS.LEGENDS. Lauren's Legends.
I'm here at the Red Roof Motel and got to be out of here on the 25th. Got nowhere to go. Barely can walk. 12 years veteran. I don't know, but this was a hurricane. Nobody could stop it. And buddy, here I am in a wheelchair. Lost my wheelchair. I lost everything. Barely can walk. And out of the 25th, I don't know. We need help, man. And buddy, it hit hard. It destroyed a lot of people, destroyed their homes, their vehicles, everything. We need help. We all need help. We've been through a hurricane, man.
So all along the highways here in western North Carolina, debris has been dug out of the riverbanks and set along the highway so that trash trucks can come by and pick it up. This is what's left over of people's homes that washed away during Helene. Here you can see debris from people's home lining the roads where they dug it out of the ditches, and then they'll set up dumpsters along the highway to clean it up. There are still cars down here on the side of the road.
In about 4 miles, turn right.
There's still cars.
And we wonder why the planet, all week long we've been saying, man, the planet is angry with us. The world is angry with us. Everything. You wonder why. Look at this. Look what's going on. Look at everything happening, bro. Look at, and what it is it's kind of like the planet's responding the way it is with all these natural, to make everybody aware of what's going on in different places. You know what I mean? And I don't say that because I don't want to say that because, but it has to be said. But I feel bad about saying it because people have lost their lives. And I don't want to come off insensitive to that because, no, people have lost their lives, bro. In Western North Carolina, they're still searching for people. They're still searching for people. Like, this feels like a dream, man. You would never imagine that all of this is going on. And I feel like we just want to wake up from this dream, man. But people are experiencing real life and they hurting. And this is tragic, bro. This is tragic. Look at all of that. Look at all the debris. Stuff, that's people's homes. Man.
So you're telling me that FEMA today, out of all days, while they've been letting people live in tents in North Carolina during these crazy cold conditions, the craziest storm, it's like an ice storm, is coming in. It's going to be super cold, I believe in like the negatives. And these people, they decided that they gave vouchers and assistance to, are going to lose their homes today. So they're going to have nowhere to go. And then on top of it, the miles to get propane and heaters, it's like miles long, these lines. They are struggling. The mainstream news isn't talking about it, and everybody's watching what's happening. Everyone's watching what's happening with all the wildfires in California and how bad their leadership really messed up this time. And Meanwhile, this is what FEMA's doing. This is how we treat our people. Like, this is how we treat the people that elect you. It's crazy and it's so sad, and I just hope more people become aware of what's going on in North Carolina, because it's really not talked about. So you're telling me that...
Well, I'm not mainstream media, but I'm going to do my best to get this out there to as many people as we possibly can, bro. As many people as we possibly can.